Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Sandra's Authors Forum. We are in for a treat. My name is Sandra E. Jackson, and the E stands for ecstatic because I am ecstatic to be alive, and I pray to God you are as well. Welcome, 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 everyone. We have a show for you. I am getting ready to put on the screen a picture of our guest. Are you ready? There she is. I hope you stay tuned because we're getting ready to talk about various conversations that you will be interested in. Number one, if you would like to be a travel agent, you're in the right place. Stay tuned. We have all of the details that you will need to become a travel agent tonight. Do not leave early. Give me 1 minute and I'm going to welcome someone. Ooh, there she is again. And one more. Look at that. Stay tuned because we're getting ready to have a lot of fun. Will you please do me the honors and welcome our guest? Her name is Cindy Lee Rhodes. How are you tonight?
I am great. I want to share your Facebook page as well because the YouTube isn't automatically populating on Facebook. Can you give me the name of the group that way I could share that one as well?
Sandra Rump Jackson.
The Facebook page?
Yes, Sandra's Authors Forum.
Okay.
Sandra, yes.
Okay. Perfect.
All right, everybody. We had a little bit of a problem, but we're here. And so while she's doing that, I am ecstatic to have Cindy Lee Rhodes on Sandra's Authors Forum tonight. She wears many hats, many hats. She's a travel agent. She's a podcaster, a client retention and podcasting coach. And now she's becoming an author. She's going to be one of us. So please join me as I welcome her to the show. Will you send her tons of love in the comment section? And we're going to have fun. Get your questions ready. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. And Cindy, they're saying hello already. And look, Victoria says, you look beautiful. Welcome, Amanda says, welcome, everyone. Pastor Priscilla says, all right, now beautiful. Listen, Cindy, they're showing you all the love in the world.
Amanda.
This is the best place to be. I'm telling you, this is the best place for anyone to be. So tell me a little bit about who Cindy is.
Who is Cindy? Well, I'm originally from Northern California, now living in Southern California, living the dream near Disneyland, near Huntington Beach. And I've always wanted to live by the beach. And growing up, actually, it was my dream to learn to surf, but I don't swim. So I moved here to Huntington Beach 5 years ago. About 3 years ago, I had my very first surf lesson. I barely swim, and I've been on 2 surf lessons, and it's actually been the most amazing experience of my life. Because when you overcome one fear, it helps you with another fear. So
Yes, so I went to Cancun and I don't know how to swim either. But when I was in Cancun, Cindy, let me tell you, I had a dream and a passion all my life to swim. And I used to even dream that I was swimming. All right. But like you said, one fear. All right. So one of the lifeguards, they taught me how to float. I got over my fear because my brother drowned in our home pool. So, that was
wow.
traumatic. And so it kept me from pursuing my swimming. And I signed up for lessons several times, but I never went through with it. But I was so excited because I conquered that fear and he taught me how to float in the water. So now I'm going to take lessons if the pandemic can pass us by.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, and that's how I become successful in my business is because I overcame that surfing fear that my mom instilled in me since I was a little kid. And I said, I'm 57 years old. No, I can't continue to do that. Although I'm still scared as heck going out in the ocean. But
Right.
when I stood up for the first time was amazing. And then 2 years prior to that, I actually took my very first skydive. So that actually helped me overcome fears of heights. So there's full circle for everything I've done.
It really is.
Yes.
So, did you say where you were born?
I originally from Sacramento, California.
All right. So, what is the key to living a happy life?
Surround yourself by those who celebrate you, not tolerate you,
I
whether they are family, business, or friends. If they are not serving you, they are not building you up. Bye bye. Yeah, really, really key to surround yourself by and start hanging out with people who make more money than you because then you learn from them and you're going to be them. So,
One day you'll beat them. That's correct.
mhm.
All right. What are a few things um, you contribute to society daily? Because I know you're keen on several things, but I want you to just tell the world who you are.
It's really important to have a daily ritual. And we love our social media, but every morning when we get up, we should have some kind of ritual, or even the night before, write some things that you want to do to pay it forward. So you can call 5 people a day, express gratitude, nothing about business. You could also mix it up during the week and do a video text. So, say you go to a networking event or you just went to a restaurant for the first time, you start connecting. Another thing, if you order through the food app, like Grubhub or one of those, call the restaurant owner or manager the minute you have your meal. It's going to really make a difference. Yeah,
Really? I didn't think about. Oh wow.
just be different. We're going to talk about some other stuff that I do related to National Day calendar, but it's really important to have your daily rituals. And yeah, it's really cool to love what we do, but you want to make some time helping others become successful because that's how we become successful, by being the pay it forward entrepreneur.
That's true. Now Victoria has a brilliant question. She said, "But how do you find them?"
You build the relationships. And one of the things you could do that I actually talk about in my book, if you are an entrepreneur, when you go to a networking event, be the greeter, be the connector. You'll go up to somebody and say, "Hi, my name is Cindy, and I want to connect you to somebody today. What is your best referral? Give me about 30 minutes. I'll come back and I'm going to introduce you to your next referral partner." And then you introduce, you walk away. And a lot of times they'll say, "But Cindy, I want to get to know about you." I'm like, "Well, today's all about you because
Oh,
you are important and I'm going to pay it forward to you. Let's meet for coffee here in the next couple of days. But today I want to pay it forward to you." Because so many business all they do is like throw in their business cards to everybody, and they really don't even care like who you are. They only care if you're gonna buy, right? So that's a little
so
tip there for networking.
that's what attracted me to you, Cindy, because you have a genuine, I'm serious, you have a genuine passion for human beings. It doesn't matter what color they are, it doesn't matter where they're from or anything. You believe in paying it forward, saying something nice and kind, leaving them with um, just little pieces of you. That's what I say. You
Thank
sprinkle little pieces of yourself into everyone's life.
you. Aw.
Where did you learn that from?
Well, I have a client retention business, so I send greeting cards and gifts of gratitude to people. Sometimes just because, all different reasons to know, like, trust, and remember. So we always hear about know, like, trust, right? But are people remembering you and are you leaving a legacy? So when I was around 16 or 17 years old, I know I'm dating myself here, Princess Diana got married and I sent her a letter saying happy wedding, 16
Oh,
year old. And I got a letter back from Buckingham Palace with the Buckingham Palace crest that said, "Thank you
no.
so much for your wedding card." And that's where my love for gratitude and making a difference and making people smile. And one thing that I always talk about is like, are you out there adding 1,000-watt smiles to the people that you meet?
So Victoria says you don't look it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, that is so sweet. Tell us about a little bit about your education growing up. What were your dreams and aspirations?
When I was a teenager, I really got into cooking and baking. And in my 10th grade, I entered some contests for baking. And I kind of put that to the side because one of my after high school boyfriend said, "Hey, I know you're looking for work. Want to work at UPS? It's great. Great benefits. Blah blah." I'm like, "Yes, that would be amazing." So I was there for about 7 years, and then I woke up one morning and I noticed that a lot of my coworkers within 6 months to 2 years were passing away, heart attack, cancer, some kind of ailment.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "That's not really what I signed up for." I'm gonna go to culinary school here in San Francisco. So I did that. I moved to Las Vegas and I spent 25 years as a chef. And then guess what? Then after my chef years, I'm like, oh, I got arthritis. This isn't gonna work. Yeah. So then I had to leave that industry. But during that time, I would send greeting cards and gifts because I did work for a couple hotels and restaurants, but on the side, I had an aphrodisiac catering company, so I would cater up to 20 people, and like couples type dinners and bigger dinners. And then I had also a housekeeping business, so I merged that with my client retention, the thank you gifts thing, and yeah, so that's kind of all where it started. And then in 2008, I'll be vulnerable. I lost everything. I was making around 7, 8 grand a month, and literally lost everything that I owned. And so I revamped myself, I rebranded myself. And so now I have my concierge where I help people with travel, I help people with marketing and gratitude services.
You skip that. I told you before. You speak so quickly, and you pass by a whole lot of information really quickly.
Okay.
So let's back up a little bit. You said you lost everything. In that moment, when you lost everything, Cindy, what was your first thought?
Well, there was a friend of a friend that
Hmm.
said, you have to watch this movie and read the book, The Secret. So you know about The Secret, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it actually teaches you to get out of your head and think positive and move forward. Like, don't think, oh my God, I'm going to be late for work. What am I going to do? Because when you think that, then what? You're going to be late for work and there's an accident and you're stuck in construction. So that's one of the things that they talk about. The secret is all about mindset. So when you change your mindset, that's when you're going to see your abundance come full circle back to you.
That's an
You're big
amazing thing.
story.
Yeah, she's a whole vibe herself. I'm telling you, I'm her mother, and I agree that she's a whole vibe. um, that is amazing. So the secret tells us all about um, reconditioning the mind,
Yes.
right? And so those of you all that have not watched it, I recommend you watch it as well because and I know a lot of people have faith and all of this stuff and they doubt the secret, but I believe it work. What will work is if you work it, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so you take the bones out of a fish and you eat the fish, right? And so there are some good parts to things and there are also some not so good things. Yeah. So you have to use your discretion is what I'm trying to say. All right. So it helped me reach the place I am today as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I would recommend it, totally recommend it. All right. We have questions coming in and so we're going to take our time and leave our normal questions and go into this. All right. Reinventing yourself is a necessary skill to survive and stay relevant. That's true. How have you found your path to reinvent yourself and change courses so many times throughout your life? That is an excellent question. What would you say to that?
I Well, actually, how it all started, when all that happened in Las Vegas and I moved back to California, I, with my social media business, I worked, I think it was 110, 120 hours in 1 week. So I took my first vacation, my first cruise. And then I'm like, wow, I really have been existing my whole life.
Come
I
on.
need to start living.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's okay to make changes in life because we have to find our place. And I wasn't able to find my place.
Hmm.
I went from this to this to this. And
Hmm.
now I found my place. I found my true passion. I mean, cooking was my first love and
Hmm.
helping others and making a difference is where I'm at now. I love
That is
making a
cool.
difference and adding a little sunshine and making you have that 1,000 watt smile.
Listen, starting over is very scary. It's a
Mhm.
scary
Yes.
feeling. And Many people do. This is what I learned. There is a group of people that are stuck and they're so afraid that they won't start because they're afraid of failure.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are people who just go out on a limb and say, I'm just going to, try it and see where I come. And then those that trust God and just go with their dream and passion. Which person are you?
I am a Leo, so I just go for things. I want to say about 8 years ago, I had a friend who told me the bucket list coach is never going to work. I don't like the name. I don't like the name coach. I said, I've had this brand for a while. It's gonna stick. Just wait. And here we are in
See,
almost 2023, and it's stuck. Yeah. So
oh my
never
God,
listen to anybody. Go with your heart and follow your dream, and never give up. And if
never
it's not
give
the
up.
right dream, find another dream.
Find another dream. I love it. Get
Mhm.
back up on that horse and try it again. And don't be afraid. Life is fun. This is what I found out.
Yes.
Life is fun. All right. You get to mess up and you get to take that eraser and
Mhm.
correct the mistakes you made and move on to the next thing, correct?
And failure is part of the steps to success. You have to
Yeah.
fail in order to succeed.
You have to fail enough. So, which brings me to this question. What is your favorite quote?
My favorite quote is Maya Angelou. I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel.
How you made them feel. And that is true. And that's why we are still talking today, Cindy, because you made me feel some kind of nice way. As you are doing with the audience, they're loving you. All right. So, this is a question. Do you have any tips for those who feel as though they can't afford to dream? Wow, that's a good one.
Hmm. Um, Find an accountability partner. I've been working on, well, my content for my book is over 30 years. I got approached by one of my students for my workshop about 12 years ago. And now I have accountability partner because I'm just stalling and stalling. Yeah, every year it's another stall. So I think that's really important, having someone keep you accountable, talking to somebody every week. And we can afford anything we put our mind to.
There you
So it's
go.
all about mindset. It's all about going back to that documentary, The Secret. You could actually find it on Netflix. It's super, super important. Every single day, as one of your rituals, what's really good is to watch a funny video on YouTube and also something very inspirational.
I
And
love it.
recite I am statements. I
Hmm.
am statements are pretty crucial.
Yeah. Um, there was a question on here about children. She doesn't have children, but they said if you do not have children, was learning to follow your passion a scary process?
Mm, it can be scary, yes, when you work and work and work and nothing's happening. You got to surround yourself by the right people. So a lot of times our success takes a little longer because you're not surrounding yourself by the right people. You're being around people who are always negative. You want to surround yourself by people who are positive, they're uplifting. Even in social media, it's really important to never post negative on someone's post. You want to build them up.
Correct.
So, because having that negative energy is going to drag your whole energy for anything that
So,
you do, personally, business, whatever it is. Yeah.
negative energy is something that we do not want to have. And I was going to say something that was so important, but we're going to go to this one. It is an amazing moment when you pursue your passion and find your place. The
Yes.
last two words is huge. When you find your place, when that timing connects. When your timing connected, where were you?
I actually created some I am statements of when I wanted to be in Huntington Beach. Because when I was, I think, 16 or 17 years old, I'm like, I really want to move to Southern California. I love the Southern Cal beaches. And I just kept on telling myself, and I put a date to it. And just like if you want a certain amount of money in your bank, like write it down and recite it every morning and every evening. So when you're training your subconscious mind, like you tell yourself you have something, although you don't have it yet. Therefore, you're going to have it because you're telling yourself every single day and you have to believe it.
repetitive things
Hmm.
that are repetitive really works. Some people get tired of the repeating things every day, but repeating things every day bring them closer to you. That's what I found.
Hmm. Very
All
true.
right. So there's a question. Let's see. We talked about your education. Now let's talk about travel. I love to travel, Cindy. You have a lot of good things for us that we would love to hear about. So, can you first talk to me about how old you were when you first began to travel?
Well, when I was a kid, I mean, our parents took us to Disneyland, Yosemite, little camping trips, stuff like that, but never anything epic that's going to be wow. Like I'm going to carry on the legacy from this trip.
Right.
Um, in 2012, I joined a travel agent or a travel club, and I was doing that for a few years. And I decided with the whole way that the travel club worked, that really wasn't for me. I've always wanted to be a travel agent, even I think all the way back to my early 20s.
Mm.
And so why not start doing some research and finding out, the best travel agency for me? And so the one that I'm in is called American Travel Bureau. I've been in since 2018. And one thing that really attracted me, it's one of the only agencies left that you can do net pricing, which means if you go on a vacation, let's say Cabo, and say it's a $300 commission, you could actually subtract that 300 commission instead of waiting for a check. A few weeks later, you could subtract that. And it's veteran owned. My friend John Smith, who's a CEO, he's a veteran, and he actually has a great story. His wife got breast cancer, and he wanted to create a legacy. So he started this agency, and 20 some plus years later, here we are. And sad, he lost his wife, but he was able to create a legacy, I believe, to over 40 countries.
Wow.
Yeah.
But Cindy, you're able to book people, groups, if they have a 501c3 in
Mhm.
various organizations. Can you talk to that audience?
Yeah, so if you are in a 501c3 nonprofit, we could actually create a cruise for you, and portions of each cabin will go back to your nonprofit. You just need to show your 501c3.
Wow. And so we want to talk about some of your trips. Where have you gotten the opportunity to travel to?
Oh, wow. So I turned 50 in 2015. And at that time, I was still in the travel club, and there was about 10 of us. I think there was like two guys and the rest were all girls. And
Mm.
a lot of us have continued our relationship throughout the years. I did a girls trip last year that was in Las Vegas with a few of the girls. A couple of the girls actually have joined my agency. And then we got this upcoming cruise coming up in Mexico here in April as well.
Oh, I can't wait till you tell me about it. How many people will be on the cruise in April?
Well, we're shooting for at least 8 cabins because then we can do a cocktail party. So the cruise is kind of based around National Day. On the 27th of April is National Prime Rib Day, and the Carnival has pretty amazing prime rib. So we're doing that. And then on the 24th, I actually have a National Travel Day. It's related around the travel industry. I can't announce it yet, but once National Day calendar does a formal announcement, then maybe we can come back on here, or you could look on any of my socials or my blog and you could see the announcement there. It'll be
Cool.
within the next 30, 60 days.
All right, we have a great question here. It says, Cindy, what do you feel are the three most common misconceptions about working with travel agents?
Hmm. That is a good question. Um, well, a lot of people, they will take advantage of travel agents. So they'll continuously get quotes after quotes after quotes. Like for me, I do charge a fee if someone wants to look up a hotel. It's only a $25 fee. If they go with me, they get the $25 back. So it's just $25. For cruises, I will do a free quote because any of the cruise lines on the planet, I get the same exact price. If you go to Carnival or Princess, Celebrity, I'm going to get the same exact price. Um, the thing about hiring a travel agent is it's your job as the person who's taking the vacation to pack, go and have fun and create great experiences with your friends and family. It's not to do research. The travel agent is supposed to do the research. So that's really key, is for you just to relax and let the travel agent do all the work.
So right now, I think we're going to plug that part of the business that you do, and I'll put on the screen your prices. And so, if anyone in the audience is interested in becoming a travel agent, right here and now, you can do that. Cindy, would you talk about the prices that are on the screen?
Well, let's talk about the project I've been working on for the last couple of years. So a couple of years ago, I reached out to my CEO and I said, I have friends who travel at least once or twice a year. They have a full-time job or even two full-time jobs, but they make the time for vacation. I said, how would you feel if I reached out to them for them to use travel agent benefits, but only to book their own travel? And, if they need help to do trips, I could help them. But that's the key, because what I was doing is I was booking a few of my closest friends on trips, and I would give them my commission away, say like
Mhm,
$200-300 commission for,
mhm.
4 or 5 different friends. So why not just join for $75 and 27 a month? And yeah, just start creating your experiences. And why are we paying wholesale, or why are we paying retail when we could pay wholesale?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very good. I know my friend Martina, she said she would like to become a travel agent, and she probably fell asleep right now because she's been working many hours, but I'm going to share the information with her. And if you would like to connect with Cindy, here's her information on the screen.
Okay. You want me to pull that up?
I have it. You see it right there. I have it. Uh-huh. That will be wonderful. While you're doing that, someone wants to know about National Calendar Day that you mentioned.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that next.
All righty. So National Day Calendar was created all about National Popcorn Day. So you could go to nationaldaycalendar.com. You could also go to the National Day Calendar app in your app store. And it's just a way to celebrate every single day. So today is the 15th, correct? So
Correct.
today we have, let me just make sure I have the right month here. We have cheese toast day, double cheeseburger day, and actually Sunday is cheeseburger day. We have linguine day, online learning day, and there's just so many different things. And this month actually is common courtesy month. It's potato month. So many different things, and it's just a way for you to connect with other people. And in my book, towards the end of my book, I actually talk about how you can find a certain national day and be able to connect with another business owner, or your client or your friends. It's going to get you back to the know, like, trust, and remember. It's really, really phenomenal. Yeah, so the digital cards, actually, I have a direct link. So if you want to check out the travel business, it's bucketlistcoachtravel.com. And the concierge business is surfcityconcierge.com.
There it is on the screen, surfcityconcierge.com.
And Bucket List Coach Travel, I actually have it up on the screen. It's just a digital card, but they could click there for information.
Very good. That is very informative, something that we did not know. All right, we'll put that up there again. And if you're interested, just reach out to her. We will put her contact information on once again, and you will be able to reach out to Cindy to find out more about her information.
Yeah, so the travel is bucketlistcoachtravel.com. It's separate from that one.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. We're going to talk about your um, authorship. How did you come into having a passion even to write? Because it's not for everybody, for sure.
Well, I've been doing different workshops, like Facebook workshops, how to follow up like a rock star workshop, TikTok, StreamYard. I have a StreamYard podcast mastery. How to do a YouTube, what to put in a YouTube video, how to do a YouTube thumbnail, all these different things that you need for your business, because you need all these small businesses in your toolbox in order to grow in your business.
True.
So about 12 years ago, one of my friends said, why haven't you written a book? I mean, you've been doing this for 30 years. And I mean, I haven't been doing social media for 30 years, but I've been doing the, creating those relationships type, seminars. And I said, yeah, why haven't I? Well, what if there's typos? And they said, well, hire a publisher, hire an editor. There's your problem. There's your solution right there, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, so I started writing it about 12 years ago. And a couple of years ago, my computer crashed and I lost my entire book. So I had to start over. So here we are a couple of years later. But I'm ready. I'm ready to get it published. I'm ready to see where things are going. And it's going to be pretty amazing. It's going to
So,
change some lives.
so tell us the name of your book.
Here, let me pull it up for you. I go on Facebook. Pull it up really quick. Oh, the Facebook. Okay, so it is How to Grow Your Business Through Referrals Pocket Guide.
There it is on the screen. If you all write it down so you will have it. So when this book come out, you want to purchase it, all right? The title of her book is How to Grow Your Business Through Referrals. And then the subtitle is A Pocket Guide on Networking, Gratitude, and Celebrating National Days. All right. That's a long title, but what that tells me is there's a lot of informative information between the pages, right?
Mm-hmm. I just populated the Facebook, so if you want to show your audience. Mm-hmm.
Sure. Let's do that.
There you go.
All right. Look, that's gonna be a big book, Cindy.
No, it's a pocket guide.
Oh, I
Yeah.
mean many pages. How many pages?
Still working that out with the publisher. Yeah. So once I turn it in here in the next month or so, then I'll just update your audience and you on that.
Very good.
Yeah.
This is her National Day calendar information that's on the screen right now. All right. What? How do you become an ambassador?
So if you go to nationaldaycalendar.com, if you scroll to the bottom of the website, there's a little form there where there's a little tab that gets you to the form. So you just fill out the information, and you do have to have some social media accounts as well. So that's really crucial. And it just kind of tell your story, and they do a whole bio on the whole ambassadors section. And it's a good way for you to get in front of other businesses. I actually was able to get on one of the largest AM radio stations here in LA. It's the largest AM station, KFI, in the United States.
Really?
Um,
And you got an opportunity. How did you connect with someone to get on the radio show?
Well, the gal who runs the morning show, she always announces national days. So I heard about that and I reached out to her and said, hey, I'm a National Day Calendar ambassador. We should definitely chat. And so she came on my podcast a couple times. She was just on about 3 or 4 weeks ago for National Radio Day, which National Radio Day was on a Saturday, but we celebrated on a Friday.
Wow. So I like the that you fluctuate and that you're not a stickler. Just if something comes up, you can change that. So I love that. There were some questions in here from the audience. They want to know what the particulars are for becoming a travel agent.
Well, in our agency, actually, I'll sign you up and I'll actually train you on 5 of our suppliers. So we got Vax Vacation Access. We got Expedia Tap. So what Expedia Tap is, it's the same company except it's the travel agent part. We have Viatar, which Viatar is the largest excursion company on the planet. We're actually partnered with TripAdvisor. And then a few other ones. And then also there's a training with Princess Cruise Lines. It's called the Commodore training. And when you finish that, you actually will get a free cruise, which basically you still got to pay the port fees and taxes. And so it's just like, why not have this tax write-off, and why not create more experiences for a lower cost for you?
Oh, wow. So, Victoria had a question about explaining the taxes and all of that. Do you have that information, or you
The
can give?
taxes for cruises?
Yes. No, here's her question right here. Do you have any tips for the legal part of being an entrepreneur? For example, filing taxes and how to make sure your work isn't stolen.
I would get with the reputable CPA, like go through the Chamber of Commerce. That's a good resource. Yeah, so if you're looking for someone who knows what they're doing, or just ask some friends and ask for a personal referral. You never want to just go to Google. You want to get things through a personal referral.
All right, thank you. At this time, what we're going to do is I'm going to bring Amanda and Jason on, and I'm going to bring Beverly on, and we're going to communicate. They have a little bit of few things they want to do. So Pastor Renfrew has to go, and she's going to say 3 quotes.
I'm just learning a whole lot. This is so interesting. I found 3 quotes today that I really loved. I hope you all do too. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Albert Einstein.
Wow.
If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. Albert Einstein. Number 3. Everything, this is, listen.
I love this one.
Yes, yes. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to understanding of ourselves.
Wow.
Carl Gustav Jung.
So, Beverly, forgive me, we're not doing titles tonight, all right? Uh, when you read that, tell me what your thought was and what does it mean to you? And snippet.
Well, I heard that before, and I beg to differ with it when I heard it before. But in deep contemplation, I realized that the thing that irked me about what others were doing was really the thing that will push me forward, and I probably was doing it too, but self-justifying.
Mm.
And when I came to that and applied it and erased it was me and put it as if it was someone else, it helped me to grow that much further into the future. So it's very good to hear a person's critical view of you because you're having a critical view of others. And it
Okay.
just is full circle. I really loved it. I loved all 3, but that third one was a stickler.
It hit me.
Yeah.
And it makes you take self inventory. That's what I thought about. Because, yeah, we're always pointing the finger out to other people, and we do not have the same passion or the same uh, scope for others that we have for ourselves. And so it's important. It teaches us lessons about, self. And I'm always learning about myself, even though I think I'm good. Maybe I'm not that good, you
Yeah.
know. So that's what I got out of it. What about you, Cindy?
What is that?
What did you think about that last quote?
I thought it was pretty amazing. Yeah. So who is the person who made that quote?
It's right here on the screen.
Dr. Carl Jung. He's a theorist.
Interesting. Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So it says everything that irritates us about others can lead us to understanding of ourselves.
Wow.
So Amanda and Jason, what were your thoughts about that?
I man, that's just powerful, but it kind of helps me to choose my words, no matter
Mm,
how I feel or what others around me are doing,
Right.
to where I already know I'm human. I'm gonna make a mistake, but if the words that come out of my mouth bring some type of positive impact, no
mm.
matter what, I can leave a situation, and if no matter if somebody feels a certain way about me, I can still have my head up and then go about my day because look, I left something positive in the atmosphere.
Very good. What about you, Amanda?
Well, there's always something to be learned about ourselves. And I always say that if you meet someone who says that they don't want to change, then you need to head in the other direction
Right.
because we should all always be seeking to improve ourselves, seeking
Ourselves.
to become better and to change those things and to improve on the perfection that we think we are at times. So it's just that reminder of, the very grace that we want others to show us. We've got to put that into practice with everyone else.
Sounds good. Amanda, you have a poem. I would like for you to read it this time.
Yes. So the poem is called, we're talking about traveling tonight, but this poem is called Traveling on My Knees. It says, and this is by Sandra Goodwin. Last night I took a journey to a land across the seas. I did not go by boat or plane. I traveled on my knees. I saw so many people there in deepest depths of sin, but Jesus told me I should go, that there were souls to win. But I said, Jesus, I cannot go and work with such as these. He answered quickly, yes, you can, by traveling on your knees. He said, you pray, I'll meet the need. You call and I will hear. Be concerned about lost souls of those both far and near. And so I tried it, knelt in prayer, gave up some hours of ease. I felt the Lord right by my side while traveling on my knees. As I prayed on and saw souls saved and twisted bodies healed, and saw God's workers' strength renewed while laboring in the field, I said, yes, Lord, I have a job, my desire, thy will to please. I can go and heed thy call by traveling on my knees.
Come on, everybody. Come on. Come on. That deserves a snap, snap. And when I didn't understand what it was at first, traveling on my knees, we move. There's movement when you're on your knees praying. Many people think you're not getting anywhere. God is not hearing you. This is all in vain. I still feel the same way I did when I got on my knees. But what this poem is telling us that there's action that happens on our knees. Thank you so much for that poem. I appreciate that. Cindy, 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 how do you feel?
I feel amazing, and yeah, prayer is super important, and God does teach us that we need to believe, we need to have faith, and it always goes back to surrounding ourselves by the right people. And a lot of times things aren't going to happen right away, and yeah, so He'll do it in His time.
Another part of that poem was talking about treating people right, and that's what you are big on, Cindy. I really love that about you. Um, so you say when you ask a question to someone, you want to know from them what kind act are they going to render during their week. So I want to ask you, what do you have planned for your week to be kind to others?
Well, like I mentioned earlier in the show, I like to call 5 people a day to show gratitude. I like doing the video ones, and sometimes I do take a little longer to do that. Like, oh, that wasn't perfect, I better do it again. But yeah, when people see you on video, and especially if you just met somebody and you take the time to send them a video, or you take the time to make that phone call, there's so many different ways that you could pay it forward. I believe this Saturday is National Cleanup Day, so keep your city clean. Go to a local beach if you live near a beach, and then go to National Day Calendar for all these different ways that you could be kind to somebody. And this month is National Common Courtesy. When you're at Starbucks or you're at Costco. I actually do a thing when I'm at Costco. When I leave the house, I'm gonna say hi to 20 people. And some people say hi, some people don't. And compliment them on their smile, their eyes, women's nails, or women like to do their toes, a men's suit, the way somebody smiles. If you see a homeless person, I like to buy a sandwich, water, and cookie, and just make their day a little bit different, because you just never know. And don't prejudge people, and just be kind to everyone that crosses your path.
I think these principles came from somewhere, Cindy. You didn't just wake up in the morning and have them. And who instilled this in you?
Wow. Several years ago, how long ago was it? Maybe 10 or 11 years ago, I was watching a podcast by Bob Berg. So, have you heard of Bob Berg?
No.
So he talks about one of his books is Endless Referrals. Another one, he talks about it's called The Go Giver, and Go Giver Sell More. So when you're in a go giver mindset, you're in my book. I actually talk about the selfish networker and the pay it forward networker.
Oh
So the
wow.
pay it forward networker is somebody who is thinking of you first, thinking of them last. And I promote my business online, but I spend a lot of time during the week just connecting people to other people. So if you could spend, let's say, 30 minutes a day going through your phone, it's called phone dumping, or on Facebook, it's called the green dot game. So everybody who is on, it'll have a green dot. Start connecting with those people. Hey, this is Cindy. This is Sandra. Hey, I just wanted to connect with you today, and I noticed you're local here in Huntington Beach. Why don't we meet for coffee? Today, I met with one of the gals in my networking group. It was her birthday, and I made her a nice little card, and I made her a little phone holder with her name on it. And I said, you know what? Next time that we meet for a one-on-one, why don't we go for a walk? Let's just go for a walk, get some exercise, and then maybe, have like a glass of wine or something, or some coffee afterwards, and continuously build that rapport. Because it's not just about business. I have friends that I've gone on vacation with. I have friends that I just turned 57 the end of July, and I have people from all over the country that came out, and some local people, and we spent the day in Catalina, and we created a great experience that way, stepping aside from business and building those relationships, and painting that town red or painting that beach red, right, and make
Mhm.
a difference.
Cindy, tell us about this picture. What is that about?
Oh my God. So that is Margot and her business partner. And they are in Cabo San Lucas, right there. You can see the marina right behind them. And they are the originators of the pink taco. It's actually a double shelled pink taco. Absolutely amazing. And they also have another dish called the avocado bomb, and it's a deep fried avocado. When you open it up, it's like cheese just gushing out. Yeah, it's not very healthy food all the time on vacation.
Right.
Eat healthy the rest of the year except for vacation. And I actually met them through a friend of mine in Sacramento who was in a taco club, because, oh, you need to meet Margot and her business partner. They're amazing. And here we are all these years later, friends, Facebook friends, off Facebook friends, and just amazing. And we're going to do it all over again here in April. I get
That
together.
is cool. What about this one? Where were you?
Um, that is Todos Santos. That's actually right outside of Cabo. It's about an hour from Cabo, and there's a hotel there called the California Hotel, and it's really really amazing.
And look at you. What?
Yes, yes, the F-14, which is the original Top Gun airplane from the '80s. So that's a museum here in Torrance, California.
And you had the opportunity to do that. And so, because you're a travel agent, you get to book your own trips and travel for less money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, that's
Definitely.
one of the perks and the incentives that if you become a travel agent for only $75 and $27 every month, that is like so affordable.
Mm-hmm.
Like anybody can do that.
And like I mentioned earlier, you don't have to do it as a full-fledged travel agent, because a couple years ago, like I said, I reached out to my CEO. I said, I know people who travel once or twice a year and they're complaining about price. I said, what if I just approach them? Hey, this is great for your retreats, your conventions, your family travel. And yeah, so that's just a way for me to pay it forward for people to save on their travel. And they don't have to do, if they have one or two jobs, they could just do this when they need to use it. And on the first or second trip, they're going to get their return on investment.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow, wow. That is exciting. That is so exciting. Um, do you all have any questions for Cindy?
Yeah. Hello, Cindy.
Hello.
Yeah, how you doing? So, out of all the places that you have been, I think you grew up. Was it Northern
Northern
um,
California. Yes.
California? And I'm pretty sure you've been a lot of other places in the United States. So why did you all the other places you've been to? It didn't compare to where you're at right now. That's what you chose.
Are you asking what is the most epic experience I ever had in my lifetime?
No, I'm just like
Well,
all
you
the
can
places.
answer that too, Cindy. But
Yeah, yeah,
he's
too.
saying out of everywhere you've been in the world, why did you choose to live where you live right now?
So there was a rivalry at one time between Santa Cruz, California, and Huntington Beach, California, for the who is really the Surf City, USA. And when I was growing up, for I want to say from when I was 17 until I was 21, every Saturday and Sunday I would go to Santa Cruz and watch these people surf. Like, wow, I would love to learn to surf. That looks like so much fun. And I said, you know what? I'm going to make it happen and I'm going to move to Huntington Beach. And well, the time I moved to Huntington Beach actually won as the real Surf City, USA. And the Beach Boys talk about it if you're familiar with the Beach Boys. So that's, again, another full circle. I told myself I wanted it and I made it happen. Yeah.
And now answer your question. What is the most amazing experience you've had in your life?
I've been to different places in Mexico. I've been to Catalina. I've been on cruises. I'm going to say the two most epic experiences is when I go to Puerto Vallarta and I go to Ensenada and donate my time to an orphanage. Absolutely amazing. I can't be a mom, so that's kind of my pay it forward to the universe to be a mom to these kids, because a lot of these orphanages, they're infants up to high school and college age. And secondary, back in 2012, one of my client retention clients, his son was going through cancer treatment in San Francisco, and I was living in Sacramento at that time. I'm like, why not have a Christmas in July event? We have, I'm connected to a lot of entrepreneurs. Why not have an event and we'll bring a 49er to meet this young man, to help with the offset the cost of his care. And he was 8 or 9 years old at the time. And the 49er said, sorry, current players can't help you. They charge about 9-10 grand. But if you want to call Dwight Clark, if everybody's a football fan in the 80s, the Cats, right? And Dwight Clark was Cindy's 80s crush, right? So I said, why not? I get to chance to make a difference for this kid, and I get a chance to meet Dwight Clark, and it was absolutely epic. The look on that kid's face is all I needed. Yeah, it just brought me to tears. He was, because Dwight Clark was pretty tall. He was about 6'4", larger than life, the biggest heart, absolutely amazing. And sadly, a few years ago, we lost him to ALS, but he created such a legacy. So just forever grateful for that moment.
Cindy, when you're sitting at your desk you sit at your desk for long hours, what is one thing you choose to do to relax? Like I have this stress ball, all right? So I do this. Sometimes I soak my feet because I know if I'm going to be in a still position, I can be doing, something for my body as well. What are some things that you choose to do?
I actually go back to YouTube and just look at some inspirational videos, find some of my favorite speakers, Bob Berg, Eric Worre, Tony Robbins, and just find people who are going to lift me up. Because sometimes, actually, I threw my back out after COVID. I ended up getting the long COVID. So my left leg, I have still numbness in my left leg. And so sometimes I'm here, 15 hours a day on my chair. Or I just get in my little car and I head down to the beach and, meditate and get my feet in the water and make it happen. And just
That is
experience.
excellent. Cynthia says people need physical attention. This is very true, and it's healing to have that physical touch. What do you have to say about that? You mentioned COVID, and she's dealing with a situation now and has had COVID several times. Can you say anything to her to encourage her along her way?
It's good to have people in your life that are kind of like your sounding board. And yeah, well, I mean, when you're sick with COVID, it's kind of hard to go out and do things, but make some phone calls. And I actually like to sing happy birthday when it's someone's birthday. I like to sing happy anniversary, or I actually make a audio. When was it? About 15 years ago, I went to the seminar and the guy made us laugh for 10 minutes. I'm like, are you serious? 10 minutes? After 2 minutes, everyone's laugh is stupid. Excuse me. And then you start laughing like crazy. And yeah, so that's what I like to do. I like to record an audio of me laughing from like 30 to 60 seconds. And if I see someone's having a bad day, I'll send it over because laughter is the best medicine.
Oh,
Or
this,
go find some. I could connect you to some amazing comedians that will just really add a little laughter to your day.
yeah, laughter is as good as a medicine.
Or
And
send a gift to that person who needs that physical attention. Send a brownies and send a big card. I have 8.5 by 11 greeting cards I could send. You could see back there. There's like brownies and mugs and just making a difference. And that just means, like, I have another podcaster friend who lost his father. So I made a nice little custom card. And then there's this little frog that we have on our platform. So it has a little frog and it has a little saying, if you're feeling bad, please hold me and think of me. So now when they're having a bad day, they're going to hold that little frog and they're going to think of me. And it goes back to the know, like, trust, and remember. So what are you doing to create that legacy and be remembered?
Cindy, can you show us like a mug or something that you have back there? Something that you do?
Yeah. So this here is one I made for a realtor.
All right.
And
It says everything. What does it say?
everything I touch turns to sold.
See, she's
My friend Sandy and her husband George. I think I was friends with them maybe for like a week. About a year and a half ago, they hit 100,000 followers. I'm like, hey, can I have your address? So I sent him this little celebration cake. And I actually sent the wife something as well, and the husband. Or I made them a mug, like this here. So this is I just did one of me. That way you guys can see it. So this is my TikTok mug. So a few people that I build relationships with, I send them a TikTok mug, and the husband's like, "I'm mad. Why didn't Cindy make me a mug?" Just joking around. So then they made a
upset
video
too.
with that. Huh?
I'm upset too, Cindy.
Are you on TikTok?
Yeah, I'm on TikTok, but I'm upset because you've known me for how long and you've not sent me anything yet.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling some kind of way.
The other day, yeah.
All right, what we're going to do now is we're going to go into current events. We want to know what's going on around the world. Jason,
Okay,
take
so
it away.
here's some current events going on. The past few weeks, it says an Amazon delivery driver in Rhode Island was able to alert a family of 6, and one of them was a baby, that there was a fire going on in the house. There was a language barrier, but with persistence, he was able to show them the flames. He was able to help them escape through the back door.
Mm.
In Sacramento, California, around your area, an author was reunited with his second grade teacher that taught him how to read. His family came from Mexico, and they did not know English that well. So his second grade teacher spent one-on-one time, hours after school, to teach him how to read and write. So one of his friends, he told them the story like, hey, I'm really grateful for my second grade teacher. They taught me. I was trying to find them, called the school and couldn't find them. His close friends just spent years looking for this teacher. They had her name, and at his book signing, his close friend brought his second grade teacher to his book signing. And soon as they, he saw his friend, and his friend told her, this is your second grade teacher. He stopped everything he was doing and told the whole crowd, this is the person who taught me how to read and write. And they said, no one's eyes was dry. Like the whole place just broke out in tears. And then a man tracks down someone who robbed his nephew and told him to turn his life over to Jesus Christ. So after finding the identity, I guess his nephew told him what the person looked like who had robbed him. They were both teenagers at the time. His uncle was able to track down the person. And after finding out, where the person lived, they talked, and the teenager at the time, said he didn't have any parents, he didn't have any relatives or no education. So now they all attend a local church in his area. So he was able to turn that situation into, a positive. And then last, we just talked about Buckingham Palace.
Yeah.
The late Queen Elizabeth on 9/11 broke a 450-year tradition and played the Star Spangled Banner in Buckingham Palace in honor of the 911 attacks on the United States, and then all the lives that were lost in New York. So that was the
Wow.